Well, hello there. Welcome to the channel, guys, and today we're going to be talking about Jonathan Kuminga. And so far, he's looked great for the Golden State Warriors. I'm using the lighting of my apartment, or from the sun, into my condo to do this, so hopefully it's good. But either way, we're going to, add some graphics, all that good stuff. I'll also have my hand dandy phone, which you'll probably see me looking down at, have some notes written. Either way, I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section before we start today's video. Jonathan Kuminga is going to take that next step for the Golden State Warriors, I believe. If it's not Jonathan Kuminga, it might be Moses Moody, who he's been, chopping wood, carrying water, it seems like. Either way, they both have. But today we're going to be talking about Kaminga, and of course it's preseason basketball. Take it with a grain of salt. We all know that. Also, I just moved into a place, so disregard the mess. Have faith. I'm building something here. Either way, I think Kaminga, especially with this showing, he's looking like what we thought. He's a combo forward. He can play the three. I think he's more well suited for the four, in my opinion. He's a guy that's going to have a lot more success being at the four, playing the four. And I think when I look at this team, I think Kaminga, time in and time out, has shown, hey, I know it hasn't been consistent, but I can be a solid part of this team's culture. Now, how much is he worth? That's up to the eye of the beholder. Now, he dropped 24 points. He showed his rebounding prowess. He showed his two-way ability. He showed what he can do in the open court. And man, oh man, Jonathan Kuminga is a guy who is a menace to society when everything's going the right way, because he's got that athleticism that he jumps out the gym. And that was something we always knew, especially when he was coming out of the G League. But at this point, going into what's crazy to think about is 21 to 22, 22 to 23, and 23 to 24. This is year 3 for Kaminga. And it feels like he's been in the league way longer. He's an NBA champion. And at this point, I think we always knew he was this elite athlete who had this great 6'9" frame. And finally, I think he's starting to come around to understand how to fully utilize it. Like we're seeing on the open court, him being able to, read the floor and properly diagnose which passing lanes to attack, either, for himself passing. Because if you guys looked, his final stats lines for this game, he had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 24 points. And that's what I'm saying is he was able to see for his teammates. He was able to see for himself. One thing that I was rather enamored by was the fact that the frame looks like he's always had the frame. But for once, he looks like he actually knows how to take advantage of how big he is. Okay, in years past, I feel like, hey, you're 6'9", 230 almost, okay? And you're not taking advantage of that. I also have to stay in the light because, look, when I go back, it's you can only see my lips and who am I? But take a sip of coffee. Stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what I do believe with Kaminga is the fact that you're looking at a guy who, what is his ceiling is what we're trying to. And I don't want to put anything there, but what I think is he has to be an instrumental part, because the idea of having, what do we think of the starting lineup? Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, or Andrew Wiggins. And then you have Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podezemski off the bench. I mean, we're not going to go with the whole Warriors roster, but you get what we're saying. And I've always thought, when we looked at Kaminga, which is a crazy draft class to think about, it going into only year 3, 21, it feels like ancient time ago, because that was the one with Evan Mobley, Kate Cunningham, and all those boys at the front. So when you look at this team's roster, I always thought, and it's interesting because you think about it, Wiseman was the year before, correct me if I'm wrong, and was the Kaminga pick was from my Timberwolves. We sent them. So it's kind of crazy to think about. that they kind of got themselves Mr. Kaminga in a haul. And he's a guy that, 21 years old. His birthday is October 6th, 2002. So he literally just turned 21. So he legally just could start drinking. Shout out, man. I hope you got drunk last night. Now, I think at the end of the day, in his draft class, I thought he was one of the best G League Ignite prospects. I honestly liked him a bit more than Jalen Green, but that's just my opinion. And when we looked at Kaminga, all right? Kaminga was a guy that I thought, what was his idea? What was he supposed to be? I think he's a guy who has that pull-up ability. He has that scoring ability. But at the same time, he's not like, I don't know if he's like Jaylen Brown-esque level, but he has that like power ability. And I don't think he's Jeff Green, okay? I don't think his floor, I think he has a higher floor than what Jeff Green was in his career. But I don't know if he's like a Jaylen Brown type guy. I just think he's a guy who's going to continue developing, who's like a really good modern power forward, and could be. You saw how Rui Hachimura was incredibly valuable for the Los Angeles Lakers this postseason, and it parlayed into that it was a 4-year, $60 million contract. I would pay that to Jonathan Kuminga if he played, at a similar level to Rui Hachimura, who I know obviously had a blistering hot playoff, which obviously contributed to him going ahead and, of course, being the man who got himself a big old deal due to the fact that he shot so well from three. That's here nor there. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think and why of Kaminga? And if you guys agree with me that Kaminga is going to be someone that could potentially be the X factor for the Golden State Warriors. Because as we talked about, Gary Payton, Brandon Podozemski, Moses Moody, there's Andrew Wiggins might be off the bench, whatever else is off the bench, Corey Joseph, obvious. I guess Rodney Gruder. I think Jonathan Kuminga really has some chance to be like the best guy off the bench. That's just what I think. I just found like a seed on the floor, and I sprayed the place with like roach fumigator or whatever, fumigation, because we killed a roach or a beetle the other day. We're the penthouse. We're on the 8th floor, so shouldn't be happening, but that shit happened, and I don't like it. I'm done. Bye. Hope you guys have a good one. Let me know your thoughts on Jonathan Kuminga. I am gonna go. Like, comment, and subscribe. If there was anything else you would have wanted to hear, as I'm losing my voice right there, do it. Also, I put out a post basically saying I want to make better content. Hence why we're sitting here, me sitting in front of a camera in the middle of my incomplete living room. This is not what my living room is going to look like. My living room is going to be way cool. You know what? I'm going to go in the dark side, okay? Where this is the dark side of the moon of the video. But I think the whole thing is that Kaminga has a really good future. And I want to thank every single one of you for watching. And let me know if you enjoyed this type of content. That way, it's a lot easier for me to know what type of videos to make, especially when you hit that like button, as well as hitting that subscribe button. My throat feels like it got fucking fucked by a ghost right now, so I am gonna go. But that's it, bye. Cheers. Goodbye, everybody.